I think that for this generation, they have a royal pass. They could lose to Portugal, and it will not be the end of the world. I think that we will not be as critical of them because they have exceeded expectations. They've delivered the World Cup, and there's nothing bigger than that. The only thing for me is how to sustain this period of greatness that they have attained, right? Because if you look through international football, most teams often have a cycle of between 3 to 5 years, and then they go through transitions, and the transition becomes an excuse for them to drop performance levels. But if you look at France, since 2016, it's been top-level performances as far as results are concerned, one after the other. And look, yes, the expectations are high. I expect MBAPPE to do better than he's done in the competition so far. I expect Aurelio Tchouameni, even Antoine Griezmann, and all of these guys to do better than they have. But I very much appreciate how far they have come and what they have delivered. And my view of them would not be colored by what they do in this.
Look, I don't think they've exceeded expectations. I think when you look at
when you say they, what do you mean?
France. When you look at the star quality that they have in their team all through, from goalkeepers to attack, I think they've done what has been expected of them. They've not exceeded. 2016, they were supposed to win that Euros against Portugal. That was a bit let down for them. In 2018, when you look at the quality that they had in their team, building on from what they did in 2016, we weren't surprised they won the World Cup. 2020 was another big letdown in the Euros when they failed to go past Switzerland, because that team, especially on the back of the fact that Benzema had joined an already stacked France team, they blew everybody apart in the group stages only to get kicked out on penalties in the round of 16. It was a big letdown. Then they go to the World Cup, make a final, showing everybody that the guys who are understudies to some of the big guns in there, that was the Pogba, the Kantés, were capable of going all the way. And they are here. I think this is just a build-on. France have had an unending supply of quality, and you can match them up to any of the top teams in the world. So I think that they are more under pressure to deliver, especially because of the achievements they've made in the past, what the French populace are used to at this. There's a certain standard that has been drawn. And when you look at the guys who have taken over Tchouameni, Camavinga, these guys they are Champions League winners. MBAPPE is probably the best player in terms of raw ability in the world as it stands. So I don't think if they lose against Portugal, it's a huge letdown. They are the favorites to win this game. And even when you even read the match reports and comments coming from the French public or French portals in their games in this competition, they are not too happy with the performance because there's a standard that they expect this team to live up to. Look, they have Dembele, they have quality all around. There's really no reason why these guys shouldn't be rubbing shoulders with the best. And that's obviously, if you go into this game and against Portugal, who look very beatable, and you fail to win, I think that would be a problem. But quickly on the Portuguese situation, look, when you go around international football over the past 10, 15, 20 years, international football can't be judged on the same parameters as club football. International football has very little margin for risk. So you rely on players who are proven rather than players that you hope to do well. Goncalo Ramos hasn't done enough to rub shoulders with Ronaldo. Yes, he did well. He had, one good game at the World Cup. Nobody's talking about the game against Morocco where he was terribly poor. We conveniently overlooked that. Nobody's talking about his season with PSG, where he was terribly poor. Even when he was given opportunities, it's not about the fact that the system didn't fit it. He was just purely missing opportunities. Had one of the worst XG conversion rates in the season, and that was poor. So if you want to get into the team ahead of somebody who is consistently shown that he's the best at a certain scale, then you also need to compete at a level. When Pogba and Kanté were playing in France, nobody spoke about how good Camavinga and Tchouameni were. It is the fact that are you better than them as it stands? If you are not, then you can't play. It's not about us planning for the future. We can't plan for the future and overlook what is happening in the present. When you look at, nobody's talking about Antonio Silva sitting on the bench for Pepe to play because Pepe is better than him. It doesn't matter if Pepe is 41 or 45. Pepe is better than him. And once he's better than him, he's going to play. You have to prove that you are better than whoever you want to take over, not by just presenting yourself and saying you are younger and because you have potential and by that fact you should play. Camavinga is still sitting on the bench, Rabiot is playing. Because when it comes to France, the sort of performances that Rabiot puts up, there's no reason why Deschamps should just allow Camavinga to play because he's younger. No, you have to prove that you are better when you are given the opportunities. And unfortunately for some of these young guys, they've not done it. When they do, history has proven that, and history has shown us that when you do, you'll be given your opportunity. It's not just one game scoring a hat-trick. Ronaldo has scored thousands of hat-tricks. So one hat-trick is not going to get you in ahead of Ronaldo.